An incredible weekend we had here at the crown jewel of the Tennessee Valley. As 6,100 fans show up in their maroon and white, the ladies handled their business 51-43 in the Magic City Showdown, thanks to some unsung heroes, but also a familiar face as well, dominating inside. And for the men, while they fall short 89-88, huge encouragement in the second half, especially behind players coming off the bench. We get into that and more here on the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Let's go, y'all.
Welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Highlights, exclusive team interviews, and analysis with men's head coach Dante Jackson and women's head coach Don Thornton. We're breaking down the games, reliving the big moments, and getting you geared up for the next big battle. And now, join us on our journey with our host, Chauncey Sanders.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Alabama A&M Basketball Review, here back on the campus of Alabama A&M at the Event Center, the crown jewel of the Tennessee Valley. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in here on Swag TV or on YouTube. Alongside me now is none other than a lady that is just trailblazing. I know we were in Black History Month, but she's making her own history and taking names after here on the campus of Alabama A&M and head coach Don Thornton. Coach, what an incredible weekend we just had here on campus. I mean, I saw people at 10:30, 11 a.m. tailgating outside as if we were in Birmingham. I mean, does it get any better than what we saw on Saturday?
This atmosphere was electrifying. It was so many great things, so many wonderful faces, the crowd, the band, the students, everything. It was perfect.
I mean, I couldn't draw up one word to describe what I saw. I had chills on the back of my neck watching you all during warm-ups because I'm like, whoa, this crowd is incredible. I mean, everyone's here early in their maroon. It was a maroon out here on campus. The stars were studded here. I know you had some friends. I saw quite a few people standing behind the bench there, supporting you all as well. But just for your players, just how incredible was this for them to experience this? Because I know you've been in different situations and different environments that were similar to this, but for your players that may not have experienced this at Alabama A&M, just how big was this for them?
Well, we kind of prepped them a little bit about the distractions and what it was going to feel like to have every seat in the arena full. And I just think where we are right now mentally, they've been able to separate it. Obviously, being able to have an opportunity to play in front of a crowd like this and having senior night kind of ease those jitters. You know, you have your family behind you, your supporters, your friends. But I thought just overall, they did a really good job of not allowing it to distract them.
Yeah, you all pulled off a huge win here against the rivals, down 65 in Alabama State, 51-43. Typically, we know you guys have been on this incredible run. There's been some huge blowouts, but this Saturday felt like this was a Mayweather-Pacquiao type of bout, if you will, where it wasn't more about a knockout punch. It was just you guys were having to just throw some jabs and also take some ducks there because this was just a back-and-forth matchup at one point. Just can you describe what you thought about the game Saturday on the floor, and we can just start with the first half.
You know, I would have wanted to have seen us get in rhythm a little bit sooner, but since we hadn't had Mo, our first quarters, it's taken us a little time to kind of warm up and get going. Didn't really see what I wanted to see from, Kayla. I thought Kayla was on autopilot a little bit. Karaya's shots that I know that she hits in her sleep, she didn't hit them. But again, I think it was more so of the adrenaline, right? But one thing that I'm really most proud of is that they were able to step up. Those who normally don't step up on the stat line. Anaya Palmer is playing incredible right now. Right. KG is playing incredible right now. Vanessa has embraced her role. And so that just gives me the confidence to know that when the shot's not falling, all of the other pieces are there in place, ready to step up.
And as I mentioned during the pregame show leading into the men's game, you have that no drop-off clause. And, I'm one to harp on, we just don't go episode by episode and just act like this is new. I literally buy into what you're saying. And the drop-off clause was there this weekend. And you mentioned it with Palmer and then also with Vanessa and KG, who had huge minutes for you all off the bench there. But you've made a wrinkle here since Davenport has not played the previous two games and Vanessa stepping in. Just why was that the decision there and her buy-in for the team? Just how big is that for you all?
Well, I mean, we look at it like this. There's 30 seconds on a shot clock. And if Vanessa picks you up for 12 of those seconds, it's going to take you some time to get in the flow of your offense. And a lot of times, I think that that kind of helps shorten the clock. Of course, you know what our defensive goals are and what that looks like. And so just her pressuring the ball kind of helps everybody out. You know, we can kind of get a little rest here or there when she's picking up for 94 feet. So, she started for us in the preseason. So we know what she's capable of doing, and she's embraced her role and have really has knocked that out the park.
Definitely. But I also want to give some love to our unsung hero here, and Anaya Palmer. With a presence like Davenport going down for a moment, she steps in and has had huge games. And it's not just on the scoring, it's definitely where I have kept my eye on is on the rebounding. And you all needed that rebounding more than ever this Saturday in this matchup, especially going up against McClendon there. Just how big has Palmer been able to rise to this occasion? Just what have you been able to preach to her since Davenport going down?
I texted her last night and I said two, three words: don't switch up. Don't switch up. I don't know, where her focus is. I know that she showed tremendous growth from last season to where she is right now this season. It was funny because we were just talking about the other day if we needed a bucket, who would we go to? And we were just jokingly and we said we're gonna go to AP. And AP was like, don't go to me. And so I got to get her ready for that moment because who knows, that could be her. And so just getting her to continue to feel empowered to be the best version of her that she can be. She's been locked into it. If we need a rebound, we know that AP is going to crash the glass, and she's more confident in her strides and finishing around the rim, and she's a great passer too. So she's just doing a phenomenal job. And I just text her, don't switch up,
And
don't
she
switch
gets
up.
out on the break beautifully.
She does,
She
yeah,
gets out on
yeah,
the
she
break.
does.
I see her excitement every time. But then you also have KG Griffin, 10 points, pretty much perfect from the field. Only missed one shot there. Just how big has her presence been? Because she was missing a couple games ago as well.
Well, KG has been battling some injuries, and I think that she's kind of just getting in the flow of in the feel of who she is. And without Mo playing, right? Those are more minutes that somebody will have to absorb. And I was laughing at her too because she had posted something on Twitter or Facebook. She had like 40-point games, at her previous school. And so I was like, well, where's the 40-point KG? And she was like, Coach, just let me loose, right? And so just allowing her to be herself. She knows her role is to be the spark. So she knows immediately when she comes in, I need her on the glass rebound and I need her to hit shots and finish around the rim. And she's been doing that.
Oh, she's definitely been doing that. She's bringing a little bite with her too. I saw the senior day video and that was awesome. Hopefully you all will as well later on. But that bite, she's bringing it and you all are as well. I want to talk about this last point here before we transition. The 9-2 run that you all went on coming out of the break there late in the second half. I think it was in between the third and fourth quarter there. Just how big was that run as far as gaining some separation there between Alabama State?
Just again, we have our goals defensively and we understand we have a terminology called a kill, and a kill is 3 stops in a row, right? And so if we can stop a team from scoring 3 times in a row and we can convert that back to some offensive opportunities, then I know that that gives us the boost that we need. That's why we're able to make runs, and that's why when teams make runs, we should be able to sustain those because we know right behind that, we coming out of a timeout, we coming out of a dead ball or something. We know that we got to get a kill, and they know what that look like.
And that's really fun to watch you guys get a kill there. And we're looking forward to seeing more of that as we transition. But before we do that, I got to talk about the stars that were out here. Because, I mean, it goes from love and marriage to also I'm seeing Super Coop in the house sideline. How exciting was that to see so much being poured in to not just your team, but just the women in sports in general, just seeing this outpour, seeing the band and the fans here early, like we preached earlier, just that environment being set like this for you all.
Well, this is where we are with women's sports right now. Women are evolving in everything that they do, but really and truly on the platform of sports right now. And just to be able to have that support here in Huntsville, the Love and Marriage Huntsville, we had Q Parker from 112 came in and sang the national anthem and wanted to do that for the women's game. That's just where we are, and I'm thankful to be in a position to give them a platform of entertainment where they can come to places to enjoy it. And the atmosphere was great. I think that the department did a phenomenal job as far as setting the stage for that. But you got to have a brand of basketball to follow behind that, and so we've really and truly like embraced that, and we enjoy being able to have that support.
As we currently look at the schedule, we're taping here on Monday, which is pretty different for us. However, we have a game tomorrow and then Thursday in Grambling and then Southern. Two teams where we went on the road, we swept, but those were also some heavyweight bouts there. Just what are you expecting for those two matchups here? For them, of course, looking for their lick back, but also for us as a whole, coming back and trying to recreate that energy here at the event center.
Well, the game of versus Gremlin, that was the first team that we saw that pressed us for 40 minutes, and I think since then we've seen a lot of pressing. If you've seen it, I think a lot of teams are pressing us to slow us down, or to try to get us to turn the ball over. And Gremlin was able to do both. But since then, I think we've gotten a lot of better as far as making certain reads and having certain players in the game at specific times, so we can make sure that we can take care of the basketball, value the ball, and limit mistakes. And so I think that that's something that we've adjusted to, we've adapted to. And then Southern, I mean, the Southern, everybody plays Southern, as hard as they can, because Southern walks with a different swag when they walk in the gym. They do. They've always been that way since I was a player at Jackson State. So I know that they're going to come in and try to prove a point. They wanted to be the number one seed. They wanted to be number one in this conference. And anytime you feel that way, you try to bring your A game to back it up. So I know we'll see their A game too.
And we're looking forward to seeing you all bring your A game. I know that's going to be a heavyweight bout that I don't want to miss, and you shouldn't either, especially if you can make it here in Huntsville as well. So, Coach, with that, your team now, we know it's number 15. The magic number is 16, but the motivation for you, just this, how do you make sure that these girls are just re-energized day in and day out the way they have been? It's almost like they aren't playing with the winning streak at this point because mentally they're just so focused on the floor. Just how do you continue to keep them energized here as we head towards the back end of the season?
Well, the goal is to go 1-0. So when we wake up in the morning, the goal is to go 1-0. And in order to be able to do that, we understand what we need to do to win the game, but we understand what winning looks like and what comes behind that too. And so winning a regular season championship for Karaya Beck, for Mo Davenport, for Kayla Walker, three players who have been in this league for the last 3 to 4 years, that's a real thing for them. And they have a taste of that in their mouths. I think last year, we were one game short last year for a regular season versus Grambling on the road. But we want to be in a position to where we want to have a chance of winning a regular season. And me too. I've never done that as a head coach. And I told them in the locker room after the game, after the number 15 win, we sharing it right now, but we don't want to share it. And in order not to share it, we got to go 1-0.
Want to know. That's the message every single day. And I hope that we can all carry that mindset as we look forward to reaching our goals every day. Once again, tip-off is set for 5:30 p.m. here at the Alabama A&M Event Center. You don't want to miss that. And then, of course, following after that game, a quick turnaround. March 5th, the ladies take on the Lady Jags of Southern University. That game came down to 2 late free throws by Karaya Beck. And so you can anticipate that this one will definitely be an appetizer as we get towards the season finale. When we come back, head coach Dante Jackson and the fellas join us here for more on the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.
Dear seniors.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for pouring into me and being the family that I needed.
Thank you for your hard work and leadership. Thank you for being encouraging.
Thank you for being such amazing role models that I could always count on.
Thank you for being my family and making my freshman year special.
Thank you for all the fun moments we've had in practice and games.
Thank you for being a shoulder to lean on when times felt rough.
This season, you gave the game all you have, and us Bulldogs greatly appreciate it.
Let's finish out the season on a high note. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. Do they look dumb?
Swag TV, and it is just about full in here, and we only getting ready for the women's game. We still got a men's game to go.
Right. Yep. That reminds. I'm serious. That's the way it used to be back in the older days. If you wanted a seat, you had to get in for the women's game. So it's great atmosphere.
Indeed. Jumping off the ball for Alabama State is Cleara Peterson, and for Alabama A&M, it's Kayla Walker getting off the tip, and she scores the first 2 points of the game. And these Alabama A&M fans going to take the seat real quick. Miss Smith. Taylor Smith, to be exact.
Right, Taylor, she knows, she's aware of this atmosphere.
Indeed, and here's a drive inside, and Alabama State getting on the board right here.
Because they're both averaging seven rebounds a game. Peterson's a little bit ahead of her at 7.5, and here's Wembley with this pressure.
And Wembley almost comes up with a
she
steal.
does.
Actually going to say last touch by Alabama State. Good defensive pressure by Vanessa Wembley. Correct. Here's Kayla Walker. She had her defender on skates. She's going to turn around, jumper up, and it's good from downtown Huntsville. Kayla Walker, the preseason SWAC Player of the Year, bringing these fans to their feet. Here comes Flowers now, trying to slice through his A&M defense. She dumps it off, and the shot is blocked right there by Jada Belton. Indeed, so here comes Alabama State now. They got Flowers. She's got the rock. She'll swing in the hands of Caitlin Bryant. Here's the three-pointer from the corner, and it's up, and it is good for the Lady Hornets by way of Amari Franklin, the senior from Pensacola, Florida. Here's Flowers. Another three-pointer for Alabama State, and it's up, and it is good. Can Alabama A&M respond? Rakaya Beal gets it over into the hands of Kamaya Griffin, and Griffin is able to get the ball.
To make more rebounds. Back to you guys.
Right.
All right. Absolutely. Great steal by Nia Palmer. Palmer's going to go coast to coast, and she does. Here's a three-pointer from the corner. Air ball. Ball, though, is rebounded by Alabama State, and coming up with the bucket is Alana Pooler.
Alabama State couldn't find the basket in Mobile, and now the Bulldogs got a turnover that time.
Indeed. Here comes Kayla Walker. Walker trying to slice through the defense. Use the left hand. No good. And how about this? Kamaya Griffin coming through with the rebound and the putback. 14-12. Lady Bulldogs out in front by Duke. As we take another look at that putback, which is good right there by Alabama A&M's Kamaya Griffin.
On the block. I think that's one of the things that you will see that they'll try to do.
Certainly. Here's Griffin pulling up on the baseline, and it's good. Here in Huntsville, Alabama at the A&M Event Center. Sold out crowd on hand for the Lady Bulldogs and Lady Hornets. Speaking of the Lady Hornet, here comes Alana Poole getting the up and under reverse layup to go in for the Lady Hornets. They're down by 2. They're going to bring a little pressure once they get to half court. They get in the hands of Jada Belton. Belton makes the extra pass to Griffin. Griffin goes up and scores.
Belton was able to get the dribble down and make the pass.
Here's a three-point attempt by Reed. Nothing but net for Alabama State. She answers the call. 1-point game, still in favor of the Lady Bulldogs. Walker throws it inside to Belton. Belton trying to work it on the post. Belton takes it to the rack.
And she got a rebound.
Got her own rebound after the miss, and this time she will not miss.
Half has started. She wants that ball on that block.
She'll set the screen. Here's Beck going baseline. Kicks it back out over to Belton. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. The floater is up and good. Coming through 2 screens is Franklin. Almost lose the ball, and then how about this? Rakaya Beal coming up with the steal and the finish on the other side with the layup.
Yep, that was a tough play that time. In
the meantime, back to the action here. They're trying to work it down to Belton instead. Beck's going to pull up for 3 points. No good. And Taylor Smith coming down with the rebound.
Oh, and they going to get Peterson, who just, all she did was rim run.
She really, really did and got the easy bucket. And Coach Thornton not happy about that. But, hey, Coach Jonetta Hayes says, I'll take it. He's got 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. They're trying to work it inside. Instead, here's the drive and then the dish inside. And the shot by Peterson is blocked. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Good defense by Alabama A&M on that one. Wimberly is going to try to get the ball into the hands of Belton. And she does. Now her hands to Beck. Beck, full head of steam. Nice pass to Palmer. And Palmer finishes in the paint. The 28-22. We're live here on SWAC TV. Here's a drive by Smith. The float is up and good for Alabama State University. SWAC TV as of 2 weeks ago. Got that update from Dr. Charles McClellan at the Indoor Track and Field Championship. Anaya Palmer hits the turnaround jumper, which is up and good.
Quicker now because of their size.
They go inside the Pooler. Pooler puts the bucket up, and it's good.
See, the pace of this game does not hurt Alabama A&M. They're used to being in the dogfight.
Correct. And Griffin drives inside and scores on the floater. Back to the action now. Here's Alabama A&M. They throw it inside to Kariah Beck. Beck backing away down. Left hand, no good. Rebound, Anaya Palmer. Palmer puts it back up and scores. Back to the action here in the fourth quarter. Here's Alabama State after the timeout. Here's a kick out. McClendon, she's going to try a three-pointer, and it's good from downtown. So Alabama A&M will get the ball back after the jump ball. And Vanessa Wimberly gets it over to Belton. Belton gets it on to Kariah Beck, and Beck gets the and-one situation, the hoop and the horn, Coach.
Right, now they did it correct that time. They came with the diagonal pass. They got it to the middle, then they went high-low. And that's how you when a team pressures you, you make them pay, and that Lady Bulldogs made them pay that time.
Kariah Beck at the free throw line. Beck's free throw is good. Three-point play the old-fashioned way. Good for Beck. Yeah, it is number 8 now, Coach. You are correct.
And they are really trying to get that ball inside.
Belton scores and one!
Yep. Being very intentional about getting the basketball into Belton because there's no one on the floor that can stop her once she gets it on that low block.
Second free throw coming up from Flowers is up. No good. But the putback is good by Alabama State University. That's Cleara Peterson. And Peterson gets the bucket, and then we've got a timeout. Here's Pooler driving inside. Shot up, no good. Rebound. Alabama State, they try to put it back, and the bucket is good this time for the Lady Hornets, and none other than Miss Alana Pooler with the bucket. Taylor Walker's got 4 personal fouls. They'll drive it over to Taylor Smith. Smith being guarded by Vanessa Wimberly. Smith, nice dump off, and the bucket is good in the paint. Scoring the bunny for Alabama State is to Kyle Walters, hot by 11. Here's Vanessa Wimberly. Getting the ball over to Kayla Walker, and Kayla Walker has the ball taken out of her mitts. They throw it up to Flowers, and Flowers will finish with the breakaway layup and timeout. Alabama State got a high seed for the NCAA tournament. Kariah Beck misses the off-balance jumper. Alabama State's going to push it up court. Here comes Bryant, kicks it out. Corner three-pointer by Flowers, air ball.
Yep. And
Palmer is just going to easily grab that rebound.
Right. And now the Bulldogs, all they got to do is wind the clock.
Correct. 17-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Alabama A&M on top, 51-42, and Vanessa Wimberly throws the ball over.
No,
Hayes, but
I'll tell you what that was now. That's a 10-second violation.
Oh, he was a 10. You're correct, Coach.
That's a 10-second violation. They had to get the ball across half court.
Got to get off a quick shot. Here's Flowers. Get it back over to Franklin. Back in the hands of Flowers, and we're going to have a travel. So
now Bama State with only 31 seconds left in the game. Bama State does not have to foul.
And Coach Thornton wants a timeout
to advance the ball. I know I watch a lot of them now because I watch the different games when Alabama A&M's not playing. That's how I know about so many players in the SWAC.
Certainly. Here's Palmer, off balance jumper, no good. They'll go up to Flowers. Flowers has no shot clock now. Get it over to Bryant. Bryant spinning towards the lane, and we're going to have a foul right here on Griffin. It's Alabama A&M in the SWAC, which goes back to 99-2000, has never been a champion in women's basketball in the SWAC days.
The SWAC, yeah.
In the SIAC, yes, but not in the SWAC. And now they're a step closer to it with 16.2 seconds to go.
And you're doing it against your rival. I had the pleasure of winning my SWAC championship against Alabama State.
Indeed. Here's Bryant. Her shot is good. Makes it an 8-point game now. They're going to put on full court press. And they get in the hands of Kaylin Irvin. And Irvin's going to dribble, gives it back over to Vanessa Wimberly. And I think Alabama State is going to let this clock run. And Alabama A&M University has beaten Alabama State. They will be the 1 seed in this year's SWAC women's basketball tournament. And who loves it more? Dawn Thornton.
Yep.
And with that being said, Alabama A&M will be no worse than the co-champions of the regular season here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Congratulations to Coach Dawn Thornton and the Lady Bulldogs. So as you take another look at some of the great highlights from today, lots of great highlights from Alabama A&M, and I tell you, these young ladies, they have worked very, very hard to get to where they are today. Alabama A&M improves to 19-9 on the season, and most importantly, 15-1 in SWAC play. Coach, as always, I know you got to be impressed with what these young ladies have been.
Yes, I am, man, because a lot of people didn't expect them. But Coach Thornton, she had these ladies playing consistent basketball all year.
Certainly. So Alabama State will fall to 14-13 on the year, 11-5 in SWAC play.
We did it. Hey, we got another ring to go. We gotta get that too.
We are Alabama A&M University, a world-class institution where future leaders prepare to make their impact on the world. Here, education isn't just about learning, it's about leading, with nationally recognized programs in STEM, agriculture, business, and the arts. We are inspired by our rich heritage and bold future, carrying the spirit of the Hill with excellence. Alabama A&M University. Start here, go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 30, James Griffin. Our next senior is A.G. Aye. A.G. has spent the past 2 seasons on the Hill, where he has amassed nearly 100 points and 75 rebounds. He posted a career-high 13 points against Grambling State last season and grabbed 5 rebounds this season at home against Bethune-Cookman. This season, AG is a valuable contributor off the bench in helping the Bulldogs be successful. Ladies and gentlemen, number 13, AG Aye. Our third senior is Sammy Pieces. Sammy came to Alabama A&M from New Hampshire and has been a solid player for the Bulldogs. In his collegiate career, Sammy is averaging 12.2 points and 3.1 rebounds, while amassing nearly 900 points and 250 rebounds. This season for the Maroon and White, Sammy is averaging 11.1 points and 3.5 boards and was selected the SWAC Impact Player of the Week on November the 19th and December the 17th. Ladies and gentlemen, number 3, Sammy Pieces. Our next senior is PJ Eason. PJ transferred to Alabama A&M after a season at Grambling State. In his career, PJ is averaging nearly 7 points and 7 rebounds. He is 14 blocks shy of 100 for his career. He poured in a career-high 17 points against Prairie View A&M and grabbed a career-best 14 rebounds this season against Tennessee State. Ladies and gentlemen, number 10, PJ Eason. Our final senior is Kentavious Dozier. Kentavious also transferred to the Hill from Grambling State, and this season is averaging 15.3 points and 3.9 rebounds in his collegiate career. Kentavious has amassed more than 1,300 points and is 13 rebounds shy of 350. He grabbed a career-best 10 rebounds in a road win over Arkansas Pine Bluff this season and was selected the SWAC Player of the Week on December the 3rd and 17th. Ladies and gentlemen, number 00, Kentavious Dozier.
A&M jumped out to an early lead. Alabama State recaptured that lead, and then Alabama A&M used a very late run to win the game on Dr. MLK's holiday down in Mobile. James Graham III thought about a three-pointer instead. He's going to drive baseline, spin inside.
Fade away.
Yeah, he can't get anything. Almost has the ball stolen from him, and the ball is stolen from him. Alabama State now with the rock. Here's a pull-up jumper. It's up, and it is good by Micah Simpson. For second place. We'll break down those rankings and standings coming up a little later. Off the inbound, pull-up jump by Karan Davis is up and good. And the Bulldogs, legendary rivalry of Alabama's two largest HBCUs. Here's a drive by Karan Davis, and Davis gets his 4th point of the evening to his teammate. Here's a drive inside, kick out. Another drive inside by Alabama State, and they get the bucket to fall. Here's a deep three-pointer from way downtown for Alabama State University's Micah Simpson. Here's Sweet Lou for 3, and it is good. Lou Hutchinson from downtown Huntsville. Micah Simpson. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Simpson, deep three-pointer again. This time is off the mark, though. He was feeling his Steph Curry right there for a second, Coach.
Oh, yes.
In the meantime, here's Dozier driving inside, reverse layup is good for Alabama A&M. We're tied at 9 in the first 4 minutes of this game. LSU basketball squad. He is from Kentwood along that I-55 range. Here's a three-pointer from the corner. It's up and good by Tyler Bird from Memphis, Tennessee. Man, they got so much talent that comes from that stretch. Seriously, no matter what the talent is. In the meantime, James Graham III scores right there in the paint with a turnaround jumper. Oh, one better.
There must be something in the soil down there.
Oh, must be. But in the meantime, Micah Simpson once again showing that there might be something from Montgomery with that three-pointer. Last battle down in Mobile.
Yep.
Here's Karan Davis driving inside. Karan going up and scoring. Here's Anderson driving inside. Shot no good. Sammy Pieces gets it over to Bilal. Back in the hands of Karan Davis. Davis finishes with a fast break layup, and we're tied at 17. Back in the hands of Anderson. Anderson coming off the screen. Anderson going to try to throw it inside, and he does to Tyler Mason. And Mason gets the bucket and one. The hoop and harm.
The Bulldogs have defended well, all can see, but Alabama State has kept it close because they're 60% from 3. Yeah. Back to you guys.
All right. Back on, no good. Rebound, Tyler Mack. And Karan Davis hits the floor, no call, and then a drive inside is good by Jaquarius Stanbeck.
And they're going to make the Bulldogs work to get the ball, but you got to hit the open gaps. And then
Davis
hit the open shots like that.
Indeed, and Davis is good from downtown Huntsville. As I mentioned, Anderson has been in the starting lineup a lot this year, but did not start today. Davis thought about a three-pointer. Instead, he's going to pull up from inside the three and hits. Karan Davis is feeling it today, everyone. Bulldogs extend their lead by 2. Here's another three-pointer by Simpson. This time, no good. Big rebound by James Graham III. He's going to push it out to Bilal. Over in the corner to Karan Davis. Davis drives inside and scores again. Karan Davis is on one today. 15 points for the Bulldogs.
When you look at it, most of them, he's doing it off of the drive, off of the pivot.
Anderson, wide open three-pointer. It's good. Nothing but net. He's going to kill that momentum right there. James Graham III kicks it back out to Bilal Abdul-Rahman, being guarded by Anderson. Here's Bilal. Bilal driving inside. Reverse layup is good. Bilal Abdul-Rahman threw it behind his hand. Didn't even know if it goes in until the ball came down and hit him in the lap. Davis is going to try to extend that lead with a three-pointer, in and out.
Yeah, good shot by Karan. Just didn't stay down.
And then here's the tip in, which is up and good for Mason of Alabama State.
Now Alabama State changing up their defense back into the 1-3-1.
Here's Carew for three, and it is good for Alabama A&M. A heck of a rivalry in the 90s, especially when you watched it on the NBA on NBC. And check out just Stephen Walker.
Very athletic move.
Very athletic. Sammy P.C. with the shot clock winding down. P.C. driving inside. The finger roll, it's good for Sammy P.C.
Dogs got to sit back and play some defense.
Indeed, Anderson now with the rock, and then the ball is stolen by Sammy P.C. He wants a timeout, and he gets it. You know, she gave a hats off to the fans that actually stayed there as Carew comes off the screen and hits the jumper from the charity stripe named after him on the football field. Now he and his wife had an official box and seats inside the president's box here in the event center. Here's Carew for another three-pointer, and it's up and good from downtown Huntsville. Jalen Carew is certainly feeling it as well. He is taking advantage of his playing time today. Hasn't seen a lot over the last couple of games, but he is certainly making it happen today. Sammy P.C.'s, and he does. P.C.'s going inside to Eason. Eason, the baby hook is good in the paint. Alabama State going inside and getting it with the left hand right there is Tyler Mason. Jalen Carew thought about a three-pointer, but he had a hand in his face instead. Here's P.J. Eason. Pull-up jumper in the paint is good.
Alabama A&M's having a problem with this pick and roll.
And they're also having a problem with Micah Simpson knocking down another three-pointer. That's his fourth three-pointer of the first half. He now has 14.
A&M, they went under the screen that time. You can't do that with a shooter out there.
Here's Karan Davis and has his shot blocked by Jaquarius Stanbeck. Alabama State with numbers. Here's a drive inside the bucket. No good by the Bird, but how about the putback is up and good by Tyler Mason, and that brings the Alabama State fans to their feet. Simpson and Dozier. Here's Simpson driving, gets by everybody and scores. Alabama State up by 6. Dozier's going to throw. He one up at the buzzer. No good. So heading into the locker room, Alabama State University 50, Alabama A&M 44. Palisade.
And they coming with the high screen already.
Right, here's Simpson driving inside. The floater goes up, and it is good. He's now got 18 points on the day. Here is Kentavious Dozier. Dozier, step back jumper over Stevens is good.
About cleaning it up.
Second personal foul for just Stephen Walker. Young man from Oakland, Tennessee. And here is a steal by Alabama State. Out in front and taking it to Dunk City right there is Tyler Bird. He cocked back and threw it down. They couldn't get either one of them, so he's going to dribble it out. Now in the hands of Sammy P.C.'s. They're trying to work it inside to P.J. Instead, it'll be Karan Davis going baseline and getting the bucket. 2 points on the evening to lead Alabama A&M. Here's an outside jumper for Alabama State. In and out. And rebound goes to... It goes to Sammy P.C.'s. He'll throw it out to P.J. Eason. Step back jumper for Kevin Dozier. It's good from three-point range. To Eason if he's being guarded by Stanbeck. Here's Mason with the ball. Turnaround jumper. It's good over P.J. Eason. Actually guarding Micah Simpson. Well, off the switch he was. In the meantime, here comes Demarion Yates. The turnaround jumper in the paint is good for Bama State. Tyler Mason's got that rebound. Simpson, deep three-pointer, wide open, and it's good. He's been doing it all day long. Micah Simpson now with 21 points. His team out in front by 8. Happens here today, and also with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Alabama A&M could still be tied for second if they pull off a victory. But right now, Alabama State is saying they've got other plans. So free throws are good by Alabama A&M on that last circuit. Here comes Alabama State now. Drive inside. The reverse layup is up and good by Tyler Bird and one. The hoop and harm coming up for Alabama State. The Hornets lead is cut down to 5. Police and company looking to add to it. How about Tyler Mason from downtown in the corner? They want to go inside to P.J. Eason, nothing doing. They're swinging around to Karan Davis. Davis over to James Graham III. Step back jumper for James Graham III. It's good from downtown. Then we have two players down. So it's 4-on-4 right now as a three-pointer is off the mark. All right, so here's Jalen Carew. Carew, wide open three-pointer. Good from downtown Huntsville. We are tied at 74.
You don't want to come out of a timeout and give up a basket that easy.
Indeed, here's Bilal Abdul-Rahman, and he ties the ball game up. Alabama A&M has not led since the 146 mark in the first half. That was before Alabama State went on a run in the late portion of that half to take the lead. Here's Karan Davis, step back three-pointer, good from downtown. Alabama A&M back out in front. Here's a drive inside, no good for Alabama State. The putback, though, is good, and we're tied once again at 79 apiece. Go inside to James Graham III. He squares up. Kicks it back out over to Bilal. Bilal with an extra step. The floater up, and it's good for Bilal Abdul-Rahman. Here's Simpson driving on the baseline, and he scores on the floater. We're tied again at 81. Five minutes to go here. We are tied at 81. Here's Bilal Abdul-Rahman from three-point range, and it's good for the young man from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, so here's Stan Beck. Pull-up jumper in the paint, no good. Karan Davis coming up with the rebound, but then the ball is stolen by Alabama State's Tyler Bird, and Bird has now given Alabama State the lead. Here's Simpson trying to create separation, doesn't do anything, and he gets it over to Police. Police has 10 seconds to go. Ball tapped away, it goes out of bounds, and it's stolen by Alabama A&M.
Right.
Great defense by the Bulldogs, including Bilal Abdul-Rahman.
Yeah, Bilal's the reason. He's the one that knocked that one loose. Coach Jackson wanted.
Here's Police. He's going to pick up his dribble. Kicks it out over to Bird. Bird, reverse layup, and it's good for Alabama State.
The Bulldogs, they've got to score the basketball this time. Let's see what Coach dials up for the team.
87-85, Alabama State out in front. Alabama A&M with the possession. Karan Davis, another chance for a three-pointer. This time it's good. Karan Davis says, I'll make up for it with that three-pointer from downtown Huntsville. And Alabama State wants a timeout. Bulldogs on top, 88-87.
Give me a good shot. I make sure I got the ball in the hands of people that can put down free throws.
Alabama A&M gets the ball inside. Karan Davis. Loses the ball. It's stolen by Alabama State.
Up on the shot clock.
All right, so 17-second difference between shot clock and game clock for Alabama State University. Hornets getting inside to Tyler Mason, and Mason puts his team back out in front by a point. No shot clock. Here comes Alabama A&M. Kentavious Dozier with the rock. Here we go. Kentavious Dozier with 15 seconds to go. Dozier, crossover, kick out. James Graham III, three-pointer is up. Oh, it's in and out. Rebound, Alabama State. And Do we have a jump ball? Yes, we do. It will be Alabama A&M ball with 5.5 seconds to go. Kentavious Dozier is going to be the inbounder. They're going to set the screen. Oh, P.J. Easton was wide open. Instead, they get it to Karan Davis, and he loses the ball.
Yeah, Bama State, all they want to do is inbound the basketball and make them foul and then go, but now Anderson has to hit these free throws.
And he misses the first one. He misses the first one. Center. Whether you're wearing maroon and white or black and gold.
Yep.
Here's Anderson. Second free throw. No good. All right, here comes Alabama A&M. The heave at the buzzer. No good. Alabama State has walked into the event center and taking a victory from Alabama A&M. And the SWAC standings continue to be flipped upside down once again as Coach Tony Madlock has led his team to a victory over Alabama A&M, stunning this sold-out crowd in Huntsville, Alabama. Congratulations, Coach Tony Madlock and the the Hornets from Alabama State University. They come in here and get a hard-fought victory over the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Man, oh man, what a game. What a game. This one was great from beginning all the way to the end, Coach.
Yep, good. Great college basketball game for the hometown people. You know, it's not what they expected, not what they really wanted, but the team played hard, and you have to give them credit for that. Hard-fought ball game.
And welcome back to the Alabama A&M basketball review. I'm now sitting alongside none other than the 11th head coach of the men's basketball program, Dante Jackson. Coach, how we feeling after a weekend like this?
Ah, man. A little tired, a little exhausted, you know, up watching film late, but a little disappointed. But, hey, you know what I'm saying, can't get it back. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I know you're a quick bounce-back program, as we say, like brown ball. But I want to start first with just the environment.
Oh,
I mean, it was spectacular.
Incredible.
You got any one word to describe what we had this weekend here at the event center?
Incredible. Spectacular. Beautiful. It was just like one of the, you know, you can't describe this environment, man. We want to make, like I told our coaches, like just for recruiting purposes, we need to try to get as many videos out just so we can send this to potential student athletes, because this is what you want to play in college basketball. Like, this is the type of environment that you grow up seeing. Like, I want to be in a big time atmosphere, and our atmosphere was high major.
I thought I was in Cameron Indoor for a minute, or over in Carolina, you know, watching Duke and UNC, or in Columbus. Like, it was just one of those environments. Bloomington.
Yeah. Listen, like Dayton, like it's crazy, right? So like just an incredible environment. Like, one of my good friends came. He's a scout, and he just came over and he was like, man, this is the best of college basketball environment I've been in. He was like, you know, I've been to North Carolina, I've been to Duke, I've been to Indiana. He was like, man, this is beautiful because it's our people. You know, it was just like, you know, it was just beautiful. And I was like, yeah, man, like it's an incredible, you know, atmosphere for my first time to be involved in the game.
And you are involved in this game, and we know what your implications were, because you and I had a conversation about that prior to the season starting, just about going up against Tony and what that meant for you, just not just being here at A&M, but also previously.
Yeah.
You know, keeping some of those SWAC titles away from you. Just what was your mindset for the team heading into this ball game with this level of intensity here surrounding the game?
Well, I knew, you know, for some of our guys, they was going to have some jitterbugs, you know, because, you know, you can only describe the atmosphere. You can show them the atmosphere, you can describe the atmosphere, but once you get into the game, you know, it's different, because now you're playing, and, you know, you come in here, we have, you know, shout out to our Bulldog Nation, man. We usually have a great crowd. But this crowd was an incredible crowd, you know, so it's a different level of crowds. And, you know, you could tell, like, in the first couple possessions, I'm like, shoot the ball. Like, but nobody, you know, really want to make a mistake. And a couple guys from Alabama State played in the game last year, so kind of used to it. So it's like, you know, sometimes you got to put a person in that environment to see where they at, and then they just kind of get better as the game go. And that's kind of what happened for us. We got better as the game went.
Oh, that's for sure. So you got to start out a little bit slow there. But then things started to pick up, especially when you inserted a couple guys off the bench. Previously, off camera, we talked about 3 of your players right now are currently in Ramadan season.
Yes.
And Ramadan, Bilal, to also
Sammy
Sammy.
Pieces,
Yeah.
Sammy Onu. Yeah, all 3 are in Ramadan, and it's tough because you know, they got to eat before 7 o'clock, can't eat until after 6 o'clock. And then, you know, when we playing that game's starting at 5 o'clock. I mean, 4, well, it's 4:30, but
Yeah.
technically
5 their
5-ish.
time.
Yeah, 5-ish their time. So it was just tough, you know, because they haven't had nothing to eat all day. But at the end of the day, you know, they had their little snacks throughout the day, but not a full meal. So listen, they left it out on the court. That's all I can ever ask for.
And they did indeed. And one person I want to highlight that did leave it all out on the court was Jalen Caruth.
Yes.
I mean, the brother barely missed from the field. If he did, I don't think he did actually at all. 5 of 5 from the field, 16 points.
And then missed a free throw. Missed a technical free throw. That's what he missed. He missed. And, you know, listen, Jalen's a big time shooter. You know, we see it all the time in practice. You know, the tough part is he plays behind Kentavious and he plays behind Karan Davis. And, you know, it's been trying to get him on the court, working with his defense. And like I tell everybody now, man, you may be a sophomore, but now at this time of the year, you're a junior. You know, seniors, you basically graduates. Like you done seen, it's over.
Everything.
Like you seen everything. So we didn't put you in every situation in practice. We done put you at different times. You know, throughout games, you done came in and played well. Even at Mississippi Valley, you know, when James Graham was down and Sammy was down, Jalen stepped in and played really well against Valley at Valley. But you know, it's just sometimes kind of hard to get him on the court when you playing behind Kentavious Dozier. It's just one of them things. But man, we wanted a spark. He came in, hit that first one, and you could just see him light up. And I'm like, man, we got to give him another shot. So we wanted to make sure he kept trying to feed him while he had it going.
Definitely let that dog run wild there.
Yeah.
Huge for you guys. But then also another person I want to highlight as well was Karan Davis.
Yes.
SWAC newcomer of the week just last week. 26 points in this matchup. Just what were you preaching to him during this game?
Stay on attack. You know, I've been telling him throughout this whole second half of the season, stay on attack. You know, you're 6'6", 6'7", you can get to the rim. You don't have to settle for jump shots. You can shoot over people. Just stay on attack, stay attacking the rim, stay getting to the free throw line. And, you know, I felt like he could have got to the free throw line more, but unfortunately, you know, that just didn't happen, you know, with some of the, you know, calls not being made. But it is what it is. It's a rivalry game. The coach, the officials let us play, and it's all you can ask for.
Definitely. And then I want to talk prior to half. You guys are up 41-40 there, and then they go on a bit of a run.
Yep.
What's your message there at halftime for the team?
So we're up 39-42. So we're up 42-39 at that point in time. They go on a 11-2 run to close the half. And, you know, I told them that run was big, you know, because it kind of gave them some momentum going into that into the halftime because it was back and forth game and whatnot. And unfortunately, our defense just wasn't clicking the way we wanted to do. But also, let's give Alabama State some credit because they hit some shots like that. Pretty much every open shot they got, they made. So it is what it is on that note. But just went into the half and just told them, man, we got to sit down and build. We got to get some stops. We got to build some momentum. We got to do something just to make sure we take Simpson away because Michael Simpson was really playing extraordinarily well. He hit maybe like 3 or 4 threes, 16 points that first half. We had to do whatever we could to stop him and try to take some focus on him. So we came out the second half, did a way better job on him and containing him. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, it wasn't the way we wanted the game to end. Like in my opinion, we had control of the game. We did what we were supposed to do. We get down to the last 3 minutes of the game and we have 3 turnovers in 3 minutes. Like execution got to be big. You know, we can't turn the ball over. And two of them was really, you know, in my personal opinion, was careless, unfortunately. So got to be, you know, protect the ball a little bit more because, you know, in protecting the ball, we protect the hill.
Protect the ball, protect the hill. I think that's one of the messages we'll keep in mind during the rest of this week because we do have a quick turnaround. However, I do want to highlight the fact that you all outscored Alabama State 44-39 there in the second half. Just how encouraging is that for your team, despite the late game miscues there at the end of the game?
Well, like I told them, our issue wasn't scoring. Our issue ain't scoring. Our issue is defending as one. So we didn't defend as one. We didn't do a good enough job of defending as one. And I told him, I say, man, it's encouraging that we can score, but if we defended as one and scored, we'll beat people. And that's the message. You know, like we have to start figuring out how to defend as one, make sure we do a great job of sharing the ball, because that's what we're doing. We're making sure other people touch the ball. We're sharing the ball, and then we defenders want to share the ball. We win games.
Definitely, we win games. And with that, we turn around. You guys had practice today.
Yep.
And practice today felt a bit different. The energy, just from an observation here, obviously a lot of focus on free throw shooting before the game tomorrow.
Yeah, we missed 11. We missed 11 free throws, but 2 of them were for the 1-and-1s. And lose by 1 point and you leave 13 points on the board. Kind of tough, you know what I mean? Lose by 1 point and you have 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. Kind of rough, them are situations where you look at it and say, hey, man, we beating ourselves, and that's not cool to do, because it's already hard to play a good team. And, when you got a talented team on the other end, and then in games like this, man, you throw the record books out. Whatever your record is, whatever our record is, it don't even matter, because it's a rivalry game.
Right.
People are playing for respect. People are playing for dignity. So, like, when we go down there and beat them in Mobile, they going to have their best shot coming here. So it's just one of them situations where, you got to understand what's on line. And, some of our guys' first time, being in, the trenches, you would say, in that environment. So, it was just a little different, because, being down in Mobile, it was way different because it was cold. Not a lot of people showed up to the game. And now come here,
you already know.
Whole city of Huntsville in the game.
I mean, you got folks, and Dr. Bryan and I, and also with Coach Thornton as well, we joked about there was tailgates outside.
Yes.
People grilling.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all type of activations going on. A guy shot a half-court shot for the car.
Yeah.
Just all different types of distractions going on leading into this game that definitely weren't there in Mobile.
Definitely. But, at the end of the day, like I tell our guys, man, we did everything to do to win the game. We found a way to give it away, and we can't do that. So, hey, get better for the tournament at this point.
Definitely, and of course you sent some of your seniors out as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't too much with the bang that we hoped for.
Yeah.
However, we got 2 games to make up for it.
Listen, man, like I told them, man, we haven't lost 2 games in a row at home the whole year. So we got to sit down and protect the hill, do what we need to do as far as defensively, and play and figure out how to play our best basketball coming up in these next 2 weeks, because at the end of the day, we get into one single game elimination time. So it's like one game at a time, one possession at a time. We got to be great.
Got to be great. I hear you on that, Coach. March 3rd is set for that matchup tomorrow. That's a 7:30 p.m. tip-off as well. Last time these 2 teams faced off, you guys had a nice homecoming trip there back in Grambling, of course, winning 66-58. Just what do you expect from them coming into game 2 here?
Coach Carey does a good job, man. He's going to have his guys ready to play. We got to do a good job of containing Coffee. They end up bringing another kid. Jamel Lane was hurt when we played down there. So, we got to make sure we do a good job with him, because he does a great job of hitting offensive rebounds. But, night in, night out, man, we got to be ready for Coffee and Ward. Those 2 guys make them go.
Definitely those 2 guys make them go, and it's been interesting to watch them develop as the season's gone, especially since we last faced off against them in Grambling. But then you also got a quick turnaround again. 1-day break, you're facing Southern, which we know that matchup was a bit different, felt uncharacteristic for us, especially in that first half, but we were able to make up some ground there in the second half. Just what do you expect of round 2 with the Jags?
Listen, another good coach, man. Southern's a physical team. They really compete at a high level. You got MJ Jacobs, who's probably in the running for Player of the Year. We got to make sure we do a good job of containing him. He does a lot for their team. And then we really got beat up on the inside at that game. Didn't do a great job of offensive rebounding, and we were bad in transition. So we got to do a good job of kind of shoring up those issues next time we play them.
Definitely, and that game is set for 7:30 p.m. as well. You can see that game, both games actually, on Swag TV here, and yours truly will be getting you ready for the matchups on the pregame show with On the Hill Live Basketball Edition.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, what's up, Coach?
I want to say congratulations to our Lady Bulldogs, man, winning the first Division I regular season championship, man. Like, congratulations to Coach Thornton and her girls, man, and her staff, man. Incredible job by them, man. I just got to give them a personal shout out, man. They just, man, I mean, you talking about setting it up, man. They did a great job this year.
Definitely, they've been on an incredible run, and of course, we're excited to see what both of you all do in the tournament. But that history there being made and in that environment was just awesome.
I just had to show her some love.
Oh, no doubt. I hear you on that. It's all one team here on the Hill. And we appreciate that.
No doubt.
Definitely appreciate that, Coach. And that will do it for the Alabama A&M basketball review here as we gear you ready for upcoming season finale matchups between Grambling and Southern. Of course, once again, you can find those games on Swag TV and also on AAMU Sports online as well. But for Coach Dante Jackson and also Coach Dawn Thornton, we'd like to say thank you all as well for watching and tuning in, of course. And Coach,
always go Bulldogs.
Thank you for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review with head coaches Dante Jackson and Don Thornton. Your support is important to us and the outstanding students here on the Hill. We encourage you to support the entire athletic program and become a season ticket holder, or be a part of something much bigger and become a torchbearer. Visit aamu.edu for more information. And until next time, go Bulldogs!